Well, good evening. Welcome. In Madison, it was 83 today and sunny. In other words, hot.
I mean,
I'm sorry. Can you hear Lavinia? Hmm. Hmm.
It's
Maybe you
70
need
in
maybe you
Chicago.
need to adjust your volume or something. I don't know.
It's 78. It's 78 degrees in Chicago and sunny.
Oh yeah, well, yeah, it's like that here and windy, very windy.
You all got hotter than we did here in St. Louis today.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think we only made it up to about 80.
Oh, well, that's pretty hot. But you're way advanced of us, right?
Yeah, we are.
So
Until today.
are your magnolias are they all blooming?
Long gone. Cherries are done, magnolias are done. We're on to red buds and dogwoods now. So
Oh my, wow.
yeah.
Now I saw the first magnolia beginning today, but
Oh,
that's
nice.
very early for us. Usually that doesn't happen until early May. So yeah, so it's been great. It's been great. Great. My all my tulips and everything are just shooting up, and my garlic is coming up. So
Oh.
yeah, okay. So did anybody not, maybe you didn't check your email yet, but did anyone not get the email with the link to the retreat? Lavinia, you didn't?
I did not.
Okay, I will send that to you. Okay. Everyone else received it? Okay, I wonder what happened. Okay, and so you got your audio figured out, Lavinia. Okay.
Yeah, I think so.
Oh, okay, great. So we're going to meet today, and then we're going to meet in a week, and then's the Saturday morning retreat, and then we'll meet one more time. That'll be the end. Let me see. I don't know, the last Tuesday in April, whatever day that is, and then I'm going to take the month of May off. So, and then we'll start up again in the summer. So I want to just sort of put together a few of these pieces that we've been doing for a long time in kind of a coherent way. So there's Qigong, and Qigong is roughly translated as energy awareness or energy cultivation. And so that's all the movements and the postures, and that's a lot of things. And then there's Qigong, which I don't know what Ni means, but it means internal Qigong. So it means being aware of the energy inside the body and being able to move the energy inside the body. So that's Qigong. And then my teacher Ken Cohen taught me Shen Gong. And so Shen means spirit, approximately. And so that's being aware of and cultivating the consciousness of the chi, or the spirit. The Taoists have this sort of idea of the soul, but it's quite different from the Western. But there is this sense of a spiritual being. And so that's Shen Gong. So we're cultivating this awareness of this, of the chi, of the level of the chi that's conscious. Shall we put it that way? Because like fire has chi, it has energy, but not consciousness. So this is a higher level of chi where there's conscious. So that's Shen Gong, and Shen Gong obviously is awareness and movement of chi beyond the body. Okay, so so that's Shen Gong. And then as I'm going more deeply into this with my teacher Trisha Yu, there's another level which I wasn't aware of till recently called Dao Gong. So Tao or Dao, Dao. People know Dao, that that which is inexpressible. But so there's a Dao Gong, which is, I don't know what it is. I don't know if I could say what it is. I don't know if anybody could say what it is, but it's awareness and cultivation of ultimate reality. So, so those are sort of the four levels. And, you know, we're going to start with Qigong and go into Nigong, and then maybe next time we'll move into Shen Gong and Dao Gong. And one way to visualize this or understand it or embody it is it's like the nesting dolls that I often bring up. We have a little doll and it's in a bigger doll, it's in a bigger doll, it's in a bigger, that there are these sort of bodies, so to speak, that get bigger and bigger. So that's just one way to visualize it or feel it, understand it. And so Qigong is, you know, the body moving in space, being in space. Nigong is the internal of the body. So that's the littlest one. And then Shen Gong is the bigger, and then Dao Gong is bigger yet. So, so that's one way to sort of organize it. I hope that makes some sense. If it doesn't, it doesn't matter. It's just about doing it and feeling it. But if it's useful, that's a way to maybe get a bit of a handle on it. The last thing I'll say is that all of these levels are body based. Okay, this is really typical of Taoists, right? They're all based on the body, the physical body, and subtle bodies. Okay, so it's not so much thinking and knowing and understanding and debating and learning. It's more about embodiment, if that makes sense. Yeah. Okay, so enough enough talking. So we'll go ahead and move through this. Oops, I have to change this view for our YouTube people. There we go. Okay. So Gong, Gong awareness and cultivation. So sort of two parts to that. So if we're just standing still, this is awareness, and that just means, how are you feeling right now? And just how's the body feeling? Sensations in the body. How's the mind? Is it busy? Is it quiet? What's it doing? How's the mood? What's the emotional climate for you? And where are you? Physically, and where are you? So this is all awareness. And so this is what the posture is for, is to gain a deepen awareness. And so what are we aware of? Body, breath, and mind. So the body, and that means sensation. That's the sense of touch, of feeling. So we put our awareness into how the body is feeling. Okay. And then breath. So same thing. So we're focusing on how it feels to breathe. Okay. And now mind. So, how is the mind? Now, when a thought arises in the mind, a thought or emotion, the Buddhists call objects of mind, when they appear, you may see them, you may hear them, it might be a voice, it might be image, but whatever it is, it's contact. Okay. So in a sense, that's sensation too. So presence of a thought is actually a sensation in the mind and in the body, but certainly in the mind. So we can feel it when a thought appears. And we can feel it when the mind is quiet. Okay? So it's really dropping into feeling the body, feeling the breath, feeling the mind. Okay. All right, very good. And now as we go into movement, moving the body. So this is still awareness because it's all in awareness. But now we're moving the chi, we're moving the body, we're cultivating it. Okay, and so we can feel this. And how are we cultivating? Well, we're rising up and we're dropping. We're bending the knees, that is, straightening the knees, right? We're twisting. And we're expanding our presence in the space. So now the space becomes part of this. And not just the space that we can see, but the space that we can't see. So behind the body too, above the body. So what are we cultivating? What are we moving? Well, when we sink down here, we're closing the gap between the lower torso and the thigh. So that inguinal crease, we're pressing and releasing, and that's pumping lymph. And one thing this movement does is it increases our resistance to disease. Our immune system increases our immune. So we're literally moving the lymph, and our heart rate's gone up, and our breathing rate's gone up. So we're moving the blood, aren't we? And we're moving the lungs. So we're actively cultivating this chi. Okay, so this is Qigong, cultivating Qi. Okay, very good. Let's reduce the movement. All right, and let's go into Trembling Mountain. This is cultivating the Qi also, particularly inside the torso, in the body, because all the organs are moving. Okay, and so this is a releasing, isn't it? We're just relax, take a deep breath. And we can really just relax into this movement. It's almost as if we're not doing it. We're relaxing into the movement. So aware of the body, how the body feels, body's moving, or how the skin, the external and the internal. Aware of the body. Okay, aware of the breath. So this is chopping the breath up. But we're still aware of the breath. You can still breathe steadily, regularly, even though there's this choppiness. You can still maintain even breath. Okay. And then mind, do you notice that the mind gets quieter? And if the mind begins to start getting distracted, thinking, and so on, then increase this movement. Get into it more. And the neuroscientists are now telling us what the Taoists have been telling us for 5,000 years, which is there's consciousness in the brain, there's consciousness in the heart area, and there's consciousness in the gut. So when we're checking out the mind, it doesn't just mean the brain, right? One thing that I like to do with this is just to lift the shoulders and let them drop. And you can also add the Tai Chi twist here, turning the waist. So initially, this is just taught as standing and bouncing, and that's fine. And you can add to it. Okay, let's increase the intensity. Ooh. Okay, and let's stop together on 3. 1, 2, 3. Okay, so the feeling of aliveness of the chi in the skin, particularly in the hands, is very obvious. The feeling of the heat is very obvious. And bring your attention to inside the body. So there's definitely warmth inside the body, and there's tingling and aliveness inside the body. And if you can't feel it right away, visualize it. So visualize it as luminescence or light or color, inside the body. So the heat is radiating out in all directions. Okay, so that's vibration. So the body is radiant. Okay, very, very good. Very good. Okay, that's Qigong and touching a little bit into Nigong. All right. So let's go ahead and Loosen up the head and neck and shoulders. Okay, that's body. And then, so breath. In breath. And so the movement serves to bring the awareness to the breath. Let's just do a couple more. All right. And rocking the pelvis. So we're sort of flattening the lower back and then arching the lower back. Keeping this flexible. So Trisha Yu teaches this for every Tai Chi class. Tai Chi as art of self-defense. And this part of the body is the link between the power in the thighs and then the expression in the hands. So if there's a punch or a block or a kick, it always starts rooted in the thighs, and then it expresses itself in the upper body. So this link between the lower body and the upper body has to be easy and open and not tight in order to generate that power for the Tai Chi. But at the same time, what I like to say is that the way we use self-defense here is to keep ourselves well. So defense against getting injured by falling or getting sick. So that's what we're cultivating here. Okay, and same with the balance. What's missing from a lot of balance exercises is the visualization. So if we just take a minute, this is really fundamental Qigong. We just take a minute to visualize the connection from the center of the earth, through the feet, through the perineum, up the center of the body, up out the top of the head, extending infinitely up. If we visualize that and then feel it when it's aligned. So if we're kind of bent over, we won't feel it. But if we pull the shoulders back just a little, tuck in the chin a little, then we can feel it when we're aligned. And so once we know that, we feel that, now as we're going to shift the weight onto one foot, we'll bend that knee a little. Now that line that was right between our feet now goes so it's over the weighted foot. So it's the same line, goes to the center of the earth, up through the body, out the top of the head. But now it goes through that one foot. And once you feel that, you can lift that other one and remain stable. The visualization really helps because then you can feel the alignment. Okay. And then the teaching in Taiji, you place the other foot, you place the foot back, but you don't put any weight on it. And then you slowly shift the weight. And as you do, you visualize that line moving back to right between the feet. And then you feel that. And then you're going to shift to the other. So you bend that knee and move that line till it's right over that foot. And when it is, and it goes all the way down, then it's much easier to just maintain that balance, lift the other foot, because your mind and body are together on this, and you're rooted. Okay. So if you, the practice is just to take a moment before you lift that other foot. It's easy just to lift it, but take a moment before you do and really feel that rootedness of the weighted foot. We're really used to doing this unconsciously because this is how we walk. We shift the weight from one foot to the other and lift the unweighted one off the ground. So we just naturally do it. But in this, we're engaging the mind and the feeling inside the body, because we're not walking, we're just standing, right? So okay. All right. Okay, very good. Now we've loosened the body up, so let's just come back into standing. And you may notice now that you're more at ease than you were when we first started and we first took the standing posture. And we just sort of naturally kind of just assume this upright and relaxed posture. There's some ease in doing that. Okay. All right. So now let's continue with the Qigong. So this is reverse. This is cloud hands. This is reverse cloud hands. So this is there's like an eye in the palm. So this one's focusing up. This one's focusing down. And that vertical axis or column comes into play here. Okay. Now we're going to shift the weight. Flip the hands. So this is balancing heaven and earth. It's a Qigong. The body's moving in space. The body's inhabiting the space around it and behind you as well. This is very lyrical. You may sense a connection between the hands, the backs of the hands. Okay. All right, now we're going to move into Qigong. So let's go ahead and go into cloud hands, the same exact movement, but now the palms are facing. So this means we're not exchanging energy so much between the sky and the earth, or between boundlessness and form. This is internal, between the palms. Okay. Now the upper palm, the upper hand, is the middle dantian, the heart. The lower palm is the belly. So we're moving qi between the palms and internally between the belly and the chest. So moving with the breath. Okay, and then so if you can, or if you want, so imagine as you're moving light or energy from the belly up the spine to the heart, and then down the front back to the belly. So you're sort of making a circle, exactly what you're doing with the hands. Or you could just imagine coming up from the belly, straight up into the heart, and then straight back down into the belly. So moving qi internally with the mind between the lower dantian and middle dantian. Okay, and let's reduce the movement. Okay, and then just come to rest with one hand opposite the lower and one opposite the middle. Okay, so there's a connection between the palm of the hand and the inside of the body. And the lower and the middle, those are aligned within this column. Okay, and now going into the Qigong, why don't you just use your dominant hand at first, let the other one go down. And then with the breath, we'll just move the hand. So we're raising the qi from the lower to the upper, and then completing the circle. In breath up, out breath down. Please switch hands. Okay, and now both hands. Okay, very good. Now let's expand the movement. So we're going way up and way down. So this is including now the upper dantian, perineum, the lower dantian, the heart, the neck, the brain, all of this, the whole internal body. Okay, let's reduce the movement. And then finish up with one hand opposite the heart, the other opposite the belly. And then it's as if the hands are resting on these sort of big balloons. So when the in-breath, the hands move away from the body. Out-breath, they move back toward the body. This is expanding to the front, the back, and the sides. And reduce the movements. Okay, so this is Qigong. This is moving the energy, the awareness inside the body. And now we're going to expand this a little bit. This would be getting into the Shen Gong. So we drop the hands. Okay, so standing mountain, focusing down. So we've enlivened the body, and now we're going to extend the awareness down through the perineum, down through the feet, down into the earth. As if we were a tree with roots. Okay, so we know what our fingers feel like. So the roots feel like that. We're extending our sensory perception down into the earth. Okay, I really feel it. Okay, now with the hands, so we'll breathe in through the roots, through the feet. Breathe in, breathe out. At your own pace. So the hands are moving with the breath. We're feeling this come up into the body and then go back down to the earth. So this is Qigong because we're cultivating this in the body, and it's Shen Gong because we're going beyond into the earth. So the earth has all the elements in it, right? Same as in the body. But the earth also has the ancestors. Our roots are in our DNA. We're rooted in our ancestors. We come from the DNA of our ancestors. So we're breathing in the breath of the ancestors as well as the elements of the earth. All of our ancestors are alive within us through their DNA, through our DNA. This is the connection to that consciousness beyond just this separate person. Okay? So all your ancestors breathing with you. So you can visualize this if you want to. You can visualize this as light, warmth coming up from the earth, filling the body and going back down. Okay. Let's take a couple more breaths. Then we'll touch into the Shen Gong a little. So the thing about the earth going down into the earth is dark. Okay. So we'll now do the same practice with breathing down through the top of the head. Okay. So bring the hands up. So breathing in, hands go down. So we're drawing in the light, filling the body, sending it back out, top of the head. So it's the light of the cosmos, the sun, the moon, the stars. Filling the body with light, sending it back out. So this is the light and the source of the light. So source of consciousness. Okay. Okay, let's do a couple more. Okay, all the way down. So now the whole thing from the earth all the way up, in breath, out breath, breathe normally. So what is this? Tree and spring. Okay, so we're bringing up the darkness, the elements, filling the body, okay, shooting that up into the universe. Okay, and then bringing down the light of the stars through the body, back down into the earth. So this is Shen Gong because it's beyond the body. It's also Ni Gong because we're moving in within the body. And so all the ancestors now they're in contact with all the deities. The deities are in contact with all the earth elements. So there's this oneness balancing heaven and earth, up and down. Okay, let's reduce the movements. And then just end up with the hands opposite the body. And so with the lower hand, we're aware of the gateway to the earth. With the upper hand, we're aware of the gateway to the stars. So that's the vertical. And then with both of them, we're aware of the ballooning of the body with the breath. So this is sort of the radiance all around the body, behind the body. Okay, very good. Okay, so let's go ahead and bring up our stool. So the Qigong is often a big part of sitting practice. So without moving the body, and if you want to do, this is the traditional mudra. If you want to do this dragon's eyes or crane beak, it's called a lot of things. Or place your hands however you're used to. So let's touch into the awareness of the breath by feeling the belly moving with the breath. Okay. And then feeling the chest moving. Okay, and then lining them up with your posture and feeling them both moving. Feeling the whole torso moving. And aware of the space behind the body. Okay, good. So these are the 2 points we'll work with. And if you like, you can use your eyes, you can move your eyeballs. And so looking down into the belly internally, the next in-breath, we'll move our eyes, move our attention up to the heart area. And with the out breath, we move it back down the inside front of the body. So we're making this oval. Or you can just let your eyes rest if you like. Okay, and so we're visualizing this and feeling it. And if you like, you can count if that helps with your thinking mind. So you can, breathe up, that's 1. Breathe down, 2. Repeat up to 8. And then start over, or any counting rhythm you want. And now we're not imagining this somewhere else. We're imagining this in the body. So the mind is in the body and we can feel it as we imagine it. The mind is in the body. And the torso is expanding in all directions, especially behind. Okay, and if you want to, when you're ready, let go of moving the chi at all and just focus on sensations of the breath and the counting if you're doing that. And now if you want to move into beyond the body, the Shen Gong, you do breathing the stars. It's optional. Okay, very good. Let's take a few more breaths. Okay, and then slowly and gently move a little bit. Okay, very good. Let's go ahead and do our closing practice. 1, 2, 3. Okay, thank you so much for your presence, for your practice. May it benefit all beings. And we'll see you in a week or so, or if you'd like to stay for a little while, then we can do that.
Thank you, Stephen.
Thank you, Stephen.
Okay,
Thank you.
have a good night.
Hey, Stephen, while you are taking your June months off, I'm going to have knee replacement surgery on my left on the 9th. And so I am going to try to do a bunch of sitting Qigong in June, probably.
Yeah, it's good. Or laying down.
Yeah, yeah. Or lying
Mhm.
down too.
Mhm.
Okay. Yeah, I've tried that a little bit. Same movements.
Mhm.
That's super.
Yeah,
Okay.
visualizing the movements. If you've done them a number of times and
Yeah,
visualizing them is very, very powerful.
because I think that's, I had the right one done in 17, and that's worked real well. So I kind of know what I'm looking at.
Mm.
But it's so when you are back, I should be hopefully walking.
Okay. Okay, good. But you'll be at the retreat.
Yes, most definitely. Thank you.
Okay.
Thank you so much.
All right.
Thanks.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
So may I ask what your first name is? I just see D. Schneider.
I'm Ed, and Deb is Dee Snyder.
Oh, you're Ed.
Yeah,
Okay. Okay.
and Deb is around here somewhere.
Okay.
She's
So
really,
how long have you been practicing the Qigong?
the Qigong and Tai Chi I started playing with probably 20 years ago or
Wow.
more. But it was done a little different movements, but basically connecting the movements with the breath and using forms like this
Mm-hmm.
and this way,
Sure.
and go through the chakras with the movement for each chakra.
Mm. Who was the teacher? Do you remember?
Christine Milavani.
Okay. And was that in Madison?
Yes. Yeah.
Christine
Yeah, Pecora was the name she had previous to that.
Oh, I don't know her. 20 years ago. Well,
Well, at least.
and where did she teach?
She most recently, she was doing Reiki work with the UW hospital,
Oh,
and now is in I think with SSM at the Monroe Clinic.
oh,